Hey, welcome back to the Minecraft Underground Challenge. We've got a lot to do in order to turn that lush cave from this into this. We've got to dig a big, and I mean big, tunnel from the lush cave to the original old janky base here so we can relocate. I've got to build a creeper farm, man. I need some rockets. That way when it's time to go up top, we can fly around and we go through a lot of rockets. I want to build a house in the lush cave and make it part of our permanent home there, and I want to transport the villagers down there and build them kind of a cool little town. More diamonds, guys. We have so many diamonds. It's one of the advantages of doing all this digging down so low in the world. And we really don't even need them because we can trade for diamond armor now. Maybe if I get lucky, we can try to fabricate some of the new armor trims. We'll see. So just to go over the rules of this world again, I can only go above ground every 10 Minecraft days, and only at night. And, well, that's the only rule. Okay, so the tunnel is dug, the roughed out version of it anyway, all the way back to the lush cave from the original base. It's a little tight in through here, I think, so to alleviate some of that, I'll install some of these stair blocks. With that out of the way, I want to start work on decorating this tunnel, and I want to use some crimson stems. So I'm going to put down some of these nylium blocks, and then I will bone meal them, and off we go to the races. So I've got to collect a lot of this. One of the coolest block breaking noises in Minecraft right there. So my idea is to use these as pillars about every 5 blocks or so down the big hallway. Yeah, I think that's gonna look good. And this stuff, where did you come from, bro? Get out of here. Yeah, that's gonna work. Let's do a couple of them just so I can get the feel for it. See what it's going to look like. This would look so cool when you're running shaders. Okay, I've got an idea in my head now, and that's a scary proposition, but it's time to decorate this hallway, so let's get busy. Alright, the time has come for me to head above ground again. I've got a few rockets from the creepers that have crossed my path, so let's see what we can find. I haven't been above ground since we brought the villagers down, so let's go. Wow, looks like I got a little bit of a late start. I'm going to need to make a clock, I think. First things first, I want to grab some of these grass blocks, and we're going to use these as part of our cave transformation, and I don't have Silk Touch on the shovel just yet. Alright, looks like we've got jungle right here. So let's see, can I stick the landing here? Yes. Well, this'll do. We'll take saplings from a jungle tree. Climbing vines now? Okay, well the sun's coming up. I think I took a little too much time trying to kill the mobs. So not much of a trip. Our next one will have to do better with our time management. I think I'll make a clock eventually so that we can get started on time. In preparation to bring the villagers down here, I am creating what will eventually be crops for farmers. Maybe we can even have some villagers that are trapped up here that they will throw food to so we can collect it. I'd like for this entire area up here to be just for farming villagers and make a path that makes it easy for us to get up here when we need to. I think it's going to be cool to have like this tiered farming area up here kind of in the distance. We won't need to come up here a lot, but it's going to add a lot to the aesthetic of the cave. Kind of the vibe I'm going for anyway. And down here, I think I'll save some of my grass blocks. I'd like to make a little patch of land down here. My hope is that we'll get some passive animal spawns down here, but I really don't know if passive mobs can spawn underground, but we're going to find out. Oh, these grass blocks look so cool in the jungle biome. Such a vibrant green. Just get this all filled in with dirt, and maybe we'll get some passive mob spawn in here. I'm headed back to the base. I want to grab my bed because let me grab my clock too, because what I'm going to do is start sleeping through the nights so that our intervals between trips above ground don't need to be so far apart. We are headed to a mangrove swamp. That's right. And how do I know where that is? Well, I used chunk base. And before you start blasting me in the comments, 2 things. Number 1, my world, single player, my rules. Number 2, I'm underground for the love of all that is holy. To punish myself for using chunk base, I will be digging my way to the mangrove swamp. In the future, I may fly, but for now, this is my penance. It's almost in line with us on the Z-axis, but it's about 2,500 blocks away on the X, so here we go. Okay, so I've come across my first cave. I will take advantage of this whenever I can, especially if we see resources really close by. I desperately need coal. I should probably be using my silk touch pick for this, but I am saving that for digging this long tunnel. I have plans for all of that stone in the near future. More coal, I will take it. Alright, now this is something I hadn't really thought of, but I am going to run into pockets of dirt from time to time, and we really need a lot of dirt to transform our cave. So I'm going to have to take advantage of that. I'm going to really fill up the inventory as much as I can with dirt. Whenever we see it, I'm going to take as much as I can. Back at the base already, the inventory is full, and it's a good opportunity to mend these pickaxes. With no XP farm yet, trading is the best I can do, but we've got the iron, and Lord knows we've got the string. I even traded for lanterns to try to heal these pickaxes up. Okay, it is time to get back to digging to the swamp. We are getting so close, guys, so I started working my way up, and bingo, we got it. We've got mud. We've got mud blocks. Mud blocks. I have plans for these too. And it's such a satisfying sound. Oh, this is so cool. Now I've got to dig up here a little bit and try to figure out what time of day it is. And more dirt. So I dug myself a little hole up here. I'm just going to poke my head up. I'm just going to poke my head up a little bit and see what time of day it is. That's all I'm doing. But I can't tell because it's raining. Okay, it's raining. I'll go back down into my little hidey hole here. I need to put a torch up, but let's put it there and not in the water. I've built myself a little bit of a tunnel here just to block off the water, and I've got a way in and out. Okay, let's go see what we're looking like. I see some red in those clouds. I see stars. Stars means we're good. We're leaving. We're going. Reset my spawn just in case. And here we are in the mangrove swamp. Now, I don't need a ton of this wood, guys. What I need more than anything is this right here. Boop. This propagule. Mangrove trees in Minecraft are so prolific. If you can come back with 2 or 3 propagules, that's all you need to get going. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time out here trying to chop this wood down with all these nasties around. So Chunk Base indicated that there might be a desert temple really close to here. I will take that cactus. Thank you very much. So I want... Okay. Where are you? I don't even see you. Okay, and I still don't see you. Let's just get out of here. Apparently I've got a skeleton hunting me at this point. And again, with the arrows, I've had enough, sir. I'm going to dig my way out. Okay, and he's followed me. Thank you. All right, goodbye. Lord. I got like aimbot or something. Oh, there's another one down there. Okay, I'm out. I'm leaving. Okay, no sign of a desert temple at this point, people. None at all. Just skeletons and other bad guys is all I've run into so far. Trying to kind of conserve some rockets. There's a couple villages out here. I'm going to check those out. Sir, you've got cactus, green dye, and wheat. You are poor. Have a good night. I will take all of your wheat blocks. All right, one last cruise around. Kind of taking a look. I have not seen any sign of a desert temple, but the sun is going to be coming up real soon. So I don't want to be caught out here and break the rules. Don't want that. So let's head back over here and look for the lone torch. There it is. That marks our entrance, and we will head back home. It's almost like Mojang decided to intentionally make a tree that takes about a half hour to chop down. It's lovely to deal with. I think I'm going to have to reinstall my falling tree mod now, and remember, my world, my rules. Back at base again, and I am starting to lay out the beginnings of what will be our gunpowder farm. Two current problems with that being that my silky smooth pick is nearly dead and needs some mending, and secondly, how in the world am I going to be able to light this place up well enough that the farm actually works? The farm design I'm going with is an old one actually. I'm not sure who came up with it first, but it uses these corridors here with trapdoors on the ceiling so only creepers can spawn. Then we have dispensers that are hooked up to a timing mechanism that will dispense water every so often. This is the timing mechanism I came up with really quickly, and the water will wash the creepers off into magma blocks, which then the gunpowder will be picked up by a hopper with a minecart and deposited into a chest of your choice. This is not intended to be a full tutorial at all, but if it's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments and I'd be more than happy to work one up for you guys. All right, the shulker boxes are cleaned out. It's about nighttime again. It's been about 15 days and we can head back up above ground. The goal for this trip is to kill it on some dirt and maybe grab a little sand, but mainly dirt's what we're after. So let's hit it. Off we go. Let's see what's around here. This looks like it'll do. Graceful landing. Okay, we'll start with a little bit of sand. Going to use this for glass in the house and some other places around the base. I hear a zombie again already. And a skelly. Die. Okay, we'll load the sand into a shulker and then we'll hit some dirt. This dirt is going to go a long way toward making our cave base brighter and more appealing. I see you, drowned. Don't sneak up on me. So this is a problem we're always going to have coming out here at nighttime are these mobs. They're going to be a real hindrance to us trying to collect materials out here at nighttime. And that'll have to do for now. I really don't want to get caught out here when the sun comes up. Okay, I don't want to run out of time. Let's take off and see what we can find around here. There's a lot of jungle, but I do think I see, yes, that's savanna. Savanna over here. Now, I don't normally build with acacia, almost never. But down in the cave, it might really help us add some color to the place. Everything's so dark, you know. But if we could leave here with a couple saplings, that'd be great. I'll call this trip a success. I think it's time to head back. The moon is getting low in the sky. And another round of cave terraforming. Dude, we got a parrot. That is awesome. I've never had one before, I don't think. I mixed some grass blocks in with the dirt here to help the grass spread, and it's another step towards transforming this place into something more than just a cave. I also worked on my first pathway. There are other blocks I'd like to use, but for now this will get me started. It's starting to really come together, guys, and I like it. I need some more quartz, so I'm going to pop over to the nether and see what we can find. And you know what? Instead of looking for quartz above ground, I think it's time to go mining down low. And that'll give us a chance to create an ancient debris area that we can go searching for. There's quartz right there. Let's start with that. And this is as good a place as any to start trying to get down low. Where are we at? 27? I think we want to get like, what, 14 or 11 or something like that? And more quartz. Oh, lava, lava, lava. Okay, we're good. We're good. Did not get out fast enough. More quartz. Hey, our first ancient debris. Check it out. And there's 3. And there's lava. Oh, okay. Nope. It's not running. It's going down. All right, awesome. First ancient debris. Thank God it doesn't burn. Whew. We got 3 of them. That's cool. Now, doesn't this make you want to just keep mining once you see this? I know I do. But we're going to head back. I have run across quite a few of these slime. That's another farm that we need to make. The looting on the sword helps though, and we're starting to get a decent little collection of slime balls. I spent a little time going around the area gathering up resources that have been waiting to be mined for what amounts to over 100 days now. The creeper farm is producing, but it's not killing it by any stretch. It's time to go adventure through this abandoned mine shaft. It's one of the last large areas that I have not spawn-proof yet. Who knows what we might find? Well, they sent the welcome wagon. This got silly real quick, guys, because right around the corner, spider spawner, number 1. And around the corner from that, spider spawner, number 2. And literally, within range, spider spawner number 3. It is the craziest thing I think I've ever run into. Never mind the diamonds at this point. It's just nuts. And here we go. Spider spawner number 4. At least 2 of these, if not 3, are within range. I don't really have a use, though, for string, as you well know, and I don't really care for spider farms at all anyway for XP. They're just too slow. Our first chest in here. All right. Golden apple, I will take it. If I can find room, I don't need the iron, I don't need the string. I will take all of the rails. I've got big plans for those coming up soon, too. Sweet, not a bad find. So hey team, I was exploring the mine shaft further and I forgot to hit record. But check it out. A skelly spawner. And this thing is so close to our base. And as soon as I saw it, I looked down and I knew I wasn't recording, so I just stopped. I didn't go through the chests or anything. But there it is, right there, guys. Oh, this is going to solve a lot of problems. All of my plans have changed as of now because I have to turn this into an XP farm like now. The first thing I want to do is clear a path to the spawner and install a staircase so I can easily just run up to the farm whenever I need to. The first thing I need to do is plan out where I want to funnel the skeletons to for killing and collection. The spawner room will need to be dug out roughly 9 by 9. But I think I'll put my kill chamber here in the front so that when I run up here, it's really easy to just get in and out. And I'll just temporarily mark this spot to indicate where the skellies will drop. I'll start making some space for the collection room and move my temporary mark over here. Right there, so it's in line with the spawner. Trust me, that'll make my life easier when it's time to make the skeleton transportation system. These farms are easy to build, even in early game, and I think Skelly Farms are a must-have in any world. Yeah, there are better farms for XP, but the bone meal is a must-have. Alright, I'm going to go with deep slate bricks for this entire build. Right now, I've got to dig this room out to 9 by 9. I'm going to start with the ceiling and the walls. And finally, the floor. I've got to dig that down 4 blocks as well. And yep, we've got some mine shaft underneath us. But that will make the digging a lot less time consuming. Okay guys, the main room of the spawner is done and we've got our deep slate bricks installed. I realized a bit ago that the skellies have to be funneled out of the back or the side of the farm and not the front. You'll see why soon. So on the back side, I will dig a 2 deep trench. We're going to need water for this part, so we'll make an infinite water source right here. In the trench, we'll place a bucket of water here, and then not there. This will create the water stream that will push them into the little hallway. Of course, this is right by a spider spawner. Why wouldn't it be? This place is full of spider spawners. Now this block right past where the water ends. It's better if it's ice, but I don't have any of that right now. The farm will still work though because the skellies will just push the others that are in front of them into the water stream. Then we need soul sand right there. This is the shaft above the soul sand, so I'll pop a water source right here. I'll dig my way down. We need 2 signs in front of the soul sand. We need one right here. There we go. And another one right below it. There. That'll hold the water back, and now we need to get the kelp in there. You guys know how to do this. I don't need to tell you this. With the kelp broken, we have the water elevator. So up top, I'll pop some water right here. It won't go all of the way, so I'll have to place 2 signs. One right here, and another here, kind of at an angle, then another water source here. Again, 2 more signs, and another water source. That actually goes too far, so we're going to need 1 sign at the very end. And we will boop that guy right there. So the skeletons will fall down in here. They get washed up the water elevator, go across the top of the spawner room, and down to right here, ready for us to kill them. So before I get too far ahead of myself, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and put in some storage. I'll pop a couple double chests right over here, and then I'll run some hoppers into them. Bip, bip, bip. I'll cover those with slabs. The skeletons are going to land on one of the slabs. The other ones are there just to keep the hoppers from looking for items above them. Then we'll surround this tunnel with some deep slate bricks, and that is our killing chamber right there. I am going to go ahead and remove this torch right there, replace that block. As we are almost done, it is time for glass. So let me go grab some. Okay, my friends, it is about time to turn this farm on, but I realized I was getting ready to make a really rookie mistake. I was going to break those torches out, but what have I forgotten here? What have I forgotten? I have forgotten the water streams. That's what I have forgotten. Ooh, it's going to get ugly real quick. So we need one there, and then you guys know how this works. We just make some infinite water sources across the back, and if I've done everything correctly, the water will flow right over to the edge, and we'll be good to go. And that looks perfect. So now we can get this farm fired up. Let's make our escape as quickly as possible. Get rid of some of these blocks. We'll take those, and this last one, we'll take those torches out, and this last one, boom. Just like that. You know you're going to get shot at. You know what's going to happen. So I give him a little help along into the trench. Now, all of the Minecraft experts say that you should not put a slab over the top of this spawner. However, and they might be correct about efficiency, but this helps my OCD, it helps my patience, because I cannot stand to watch the skeleton spawn on top of it. Then I want to break the glass and shoot the skeleton, and break the glass and shoot the skeleton. And there we go, guys. We've got a Skelly Farm up and running. This is going to be a game changer. Okay, the shulkers are empty. I am going to stock up on some golden carrots from Mr. Farmer here. And it's about time to head back to the above ground. We're going for some spruce and some dark oak on this trip, but it's not a bad flight, a couple thousand blocks. I am going to pillar up here. I'm using gravel so I can break it out easily. The idea behind this has to do with something I'd like to create in the future. I want to dig out a huge circle from above ground all the way down to this cave and then fill the top part with glass. This location will serve as a center point for that circle in the future. And I'm going to go ahead and dig all the way above ground here, and then when night comes, we'll just take off from here. Okay, we've made it to the top, and it's raining, and it's sunrise. So we've got to wait. I've been waiting right here in my little hole, and nighttime is approaching quickly. If we take a close-up look at the Minecraft clock, between, say, the sun and where the sun goes down, there are some blue pixels. And I've decided that when those blue pixels are gone, as long as I can see stars, we are out of here. It is nighttime. Let's mark this spot with some torches so I can see it on our way back in, and we are out of here. Oh my gosh. Let's make sure I actually have the elytra on. I'm wasting time. Our first location is actually only about 1,200 blocks away. That's where the dark oak is, but beyond that, there should be some spruce and I think some ice. We're going to check that out as well. All right, that's our dark oak. And check it out. Oh my God, there's a woodland mansion. Okay, let's just land on top of some of these trees. I don't care about the wood. I just want the saplings. Be good to me. Come on, Minecraft. Times like these, I'm glad I made this hoe. Oh, only one so far. I'd really like to get 8. Okay, we've got 5. Being out at nighttime is bad enough. This thunderstorm isn't making things any better. I really don't want to be on the ground under this canopy, so let's find another tree. We've got 6. Okay. All right, there's 8. I hear a Skelly. Ow. Okay, we're out of here. Let's go find the spruce. Ooh, that was close. Okay, future Devil Dog here. I messed up recording during this section, but we were right on top of some spruce, and I did get some saplings. So I was able to hit record again and kind of turn around and show you guys. But check this out. Ice, ice, baby. That was bad. I'm so sorry. But it's time for me to head back. I'm glad I have the clock in my hotbar because it's really hard to tell when the sun is coming up through all this mess. So what should the ground rules be on making my way back to the Woodland Mansion? Since this is an underground challenge, should I have to dig in from below, you think? Let me know in the comments. And sunrise is upon us, and we are approaching home. Our little hidey hole that will lead us down into the center of our gigantic cave. There is the glow from my torches. So let's get out of the weather and get some trees growing. And I think I'll leave that one gravel there to mark our center point for the future. That is one of Minecraft's most satisfying mechanics right there. And instead, I think I'll remove the gravel and mark that with a green carpet for now. I want to clear out this acacia right now and get the dark oak and spruce saplings planted ASAP. I've got a lot of building to do. And let's get rid of this mangrove tree for now. I'll get the spruce planted. We'll make a big tree here. It's going to create some podzol, but I'll deal with it until I can make a tree farm in a different part of the cave. Put another dark oak tree here. These guys can be a little stingy with their saplings too. And the magic of bone meal. Here we go. Oh my God, guys, we've got spruce. Finally, it's all starting to come together. Ouch. And let's grab some of this dark oak. It's time for me to start my first big project for this world. It's time to build a proper house. For that, I'm going to need some brick masons. A large part of this build will be done with quartz blocks, and it's a lot easier to get it from them than going back and forth to the nether. And there's one in. All right, we've got our first mason. There we go. What are we going to trade? We're buying bricks, I suppose, and selling clay balls. I should have a lot of those from the lush cave. Come on, level up. Let me see them. There's your, yeah, there we go. And we'll buy some of these chiseled stone bricks. Get them leveled up again. What do we got next? I don't have a lot of that to sell you. So we're buying more chiseled stone bricks, I suppose. And we'll probably end up buying a lot of bricks. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but you never know. You never know. Okay, what do you got for me now? Let's get you leveled up. You're not ready yet. Sell you a little bit of that. Okay, let's see it. Now we're to terracotta. Never been a big fan of the glazed terracotta, but I do like the plain terracottas, and I'll buy some of the yellow. We might be able to use that somewhere, but that'll get them leveled up. And let's see them. Give it to me. Give it to me. There we go, and there's our quartz trade we've been looking for. Now, is it just me, or do you guys accidentally buy quartz pillars too from these guys? It happens to me all the time and aggravates me. But normally I just end up including them in the build. Now, our cleric, he's going to have to get moved across the hall, and we're going to need more brick mason, for sure. For now, I will take all of that, kind sir. I'll place a chest down here for now to store building materials in and keep working with those villagers and try to get some more masons. Okay, the cleric has put in for a change of address successfully. Mason number 2 is in place. I'm going to need to make some more stone cutters, and Mason number 2 has found gainful employment. He interviews well. Number 3 is in place. Number 4. And there's number 5. So we've got 5 masons now. This is going to be exactly what we need. Now we buy quartz and get all of these masons leveled up. Who is it that's bringing these guys all of this quartz anyway? That's what I want to know. And I'm short of emeralds again. Okay, come here, kitty cat. I've seen you lurking around here for quite a few days, and we could use another pet in our world. I've got a little bit of fish here. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, not yet. No. Nothing. Well, lucky for you, I'll go buy some more cod eventually. Stay out of the lava. Back at the base, I wanted to take just a second to put my ice block into the skeleton farm, the ice I collected out on the spruce trip that I failed to record, but it was right there by the spruce. I'm back at the masons again to stock up on some more quartz. By now I think I've got enough to get started on the build. Also, check this out. I finally got some of my mods loaded into this world, and this is one of my favorites. Oh my god, it's such a time saver. I'm going to start the house by working on the water stream up and the drop chute down, because the house is suspended, so to speak. I'll use fence posts to hold the water back and kind of guide me on the way down. Now, if you do this in your world, it can be a little bit risky, but I'm not really up very high, and I can always replace these with glass if I want to. I replaced the quartz blocks with spruce. I use the quartz because they were easy to break. I have to go make some scaffolding. I've got a metric ton of string and plenty of bamboo. All right, I'll put a couple blocks there, and a sign there, and a sign there, and that's going to hold the water back for my water stream up. So one last time, I'll take the ladder up, and after this, we can get rid of that. We'll drop a water right there, and then we'll do the kelp trick. You guys know how to do this. All right, the kelp goes in, we bone meal it, break that kelp, and we have a water elevator, so that's working just fine. This is where you have to be careful. And now I can get rid of this ugly cobblestone ladder pillar thing, and we can get to work on this house. I'm looking for a gradient for the main body of the house using white blocks, so I'll use some diorite at the bottom with some polished diorite and then quartz. I've decided that I want to use calcite also, but I haven't found a geode yet. The roof is going to be trimmed with dark oak, and the main roof will be mangrove slats and stairs. I was looking for a very tall roof design with a little bit of a fantasy feel. I found something online that I use for inspiration, and I'm trying to make that my own. Mangrove trapdoors for shutters, some mangrove stairs for some accents on the outside with some quartz stair blocks for accents as well. And the idea is that the house is going to blend right in with that part of the cave up top, and then I've got a special thing that I want to do at the bottom. So enjoy the rest of the time lapse. So I want to make the house look like it's floating above ground on some stone, as if it's been ripped from the ground below. So I'm going to start by just roughing in some stone blocks and then adding details from there. At some point in the future, it might look good to dig a pit below to represent where it might have come from, if that makes any sense. So then I'm just going to add some stone blocks, some tuff, cobblestone, things like that. And then I'm going to come back and add stair blocks and wall blocks and different things like that. And then I'm going to come back in here with some leaf blocks and some vines just to give it that lush cavey kind of feel. And finally, I extended the platform up top, hopefully to make it a little bit more elytra friendly, if that makes any sense. I put a few finishing touches, got the roof done, and for the most part, the house is finished. So now it's on to the next phase of transforming this cave. I'm going to be creating a build for each one of the villager trade types, some custom pathways for the base, and continuing to terraform the inside. For the pathways, I've gathered all the mud blocks that I've brought back from the Mangrove swamp, turned some of them into mud bricks and some of them into dried mud, along with gravel and stone. I also need a ton of wood for this, and this mod is just wonderful. It may seem a little cheaty, but the axe still takes all of the damage, and it's a real time saver in real life. With plenty of wood and shroom lights gathered, I'm going to start on my pathway, mixing in my various path blocks and kind of reworking the original path to match. For the villagers, the first build I'm going to start with is for the mason villagers. I'm making them their own custom mine entrance. Of course, I have to dig them a mine shaft in the back. It doesn't go anywhere. It's really just for looks. I should probably gate it off for safety. I'll start with some spruce logs as support beams. The walls are going to be a combination of stone bricks, mossy bricks, cobble, mossy cobble, and some andesite. I did the floor with the same block palette. In the back, I added another spruce beam just to give this some more support back here with some spruce stairs just to spice things up. I added fences for some extra support, and it gives me a good place to hang lanterns from. I added a couple barrels. We built some custom rock piles around here, and the 3 gates out front will give me an easy way to get these villagers in and out of here when the time comes. Put some shroom lights in the floor with some moss carpet over it, and these spruce trapdoors will act as tables, and later on I'll put their stone cutters in place when I move them over here. Next up is the library. I'm using stripped oak and spruce for the front beams, and I have to dig this place out a little bit bigger. I used the website HueBlocks for the first time, and it really helped me come up with this variation of stripped oak, spruce, mud bricks, and mud to form the front wall. I'll add some fencing and lanterns around the stone ceiling for some detail, and I think I need to make this entranceway just a little bit wider. Inside, I'm going to do something very similar to the stonemasons build for the walls, using different blocks to provide some texture. Ultimately, I don't think this room is going to be big enough. I have way more villagers than what will fit in here, so I think I'll extend this room out a little bit and create a second floor using some spruce slabs. We need a handrail in here for sure. Villagers do some dumb things if we don't protect them. I wanted to have a vaulted look to the roof from the inside. This will probably never be seen from the exterior, but I wanted a more open feel. When that was done, I used stripped jungle wood and oak planks for the floor, which I thought was interesting, and of course no library would be complete without the bookshelves. Overall, I really like the way these builds are turning out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Finally, for this episode anyway, I am going to create a fishing hut for my fishermen. I chose this existing pond down here in the lush cave. I removed some of the clay blocks and moss blocks, and it did some funky things to the waterfall that feeds the pond, but I'll deal with it for now. Then I started working on a pathway that would lead eventually to the front door. I used oak and spruce for the main frame, and I wanted to have a front door that protrudes out a little bit, like you see on some old row houses in the old part of a city. I stripped some of the blocks, but not all of them, and I made sure to leave the blocks in the water unstripped to give them that waterlogged look like you might see around an old pier. I went with an acacia door for a little boop of color, and decided on deep slate tiles for the roofing material, and gave our front door its own little roof. I added some birch fence for texture and some lanterns, of course. I extended the spruce frame up a little bit higher and started working on the roof for the main part of the fishing shack. The edge of the roof will be trimmed out with deep slate tiles, but the rest of the roof is going to be jungle wood. Then I finished off the roof with jungle stairs, slats, and slabs. Jungle wood doesn't get enough love, let's face it, but I did pop in some oak wood to give it some variety. For the most part, I just let the roof run into the cave wall wherever they met up. I want the build to look man-made, so to speak, but also organic, like they were just doing the best they could when they put this thing together. I topped the roof line off with some birch slabs and a little bit of an extension. I added some birch fences up here for detail and a cross member for the spruce, and then I fought trying to place a trap door up here for like 5 minutes. But finally I got it done and I added a lantern up there for good measure. I filled up the walls that made up the little entrance part of our house with spruce and stripped some of those blocks. The walls I did with jungle wood also, but again I'll texture them with some oak, and I left a couple window openings. Next, I carved out a bit more space for the interior and finished off the walls, adding some fences again and more lanterns. For the floor, I went a little bit different with jungle and oak slats mixed with dried mud and mud bricks, and I really kind of liked the way this turned out. Then I fenced off the whole place with dark oak fencing to keep the villagers safely inside the area, and I terraformed the bottom of the pond. And I didn't realize until I was editing this footage that there was such an insane amount of axolotls in here. So I guess I need to do something with them. We could buy some name tags and name them all, so if you have any ideas for axolotl names, drop them in the comments, please. Then I finished off the whole build by tying in the pathways to the ones that I had already done out in the main part of the cave. Well guys, that's it for today's episode. I appreciate you watching so much. If you've stuck around this far, I really appreciate it. As you guys know by now, these videos take a long time to put together. I certainly appreciate your support, and if you like the content, slap that like button for me if you would. It's free and it helps get this content out to more people that love Minecraft the way we do. Until next time, Devil Dog MC, over and out.